dobro, volim opet da znam gdje je, da ga sahranim, na primjer, da znadem gdje je, da sutra dođem, da kažem je ovdje moje dijete. Ali gorko. Gorko mi je.
Ja lično se bojim trenutka eshumacije, odnosno početka eshumacije ovih kolektivnih grobnica, jer je to novi trenutak, odnosno nova tragedija srebreničkih majki, braće, sestara i roditelja.
For us there is no dilemma. They must be buried where they are born, which means in Srebrenica.
American troops standing guard at Srpska, territory controlled by Serbs, 20 miles west of Srebrenica. Today they finished clearing topsoil and marked where they found signs of corpses. No exhumations were done, but an earlier test revealed a number of bodies on this site, a possible mass grave for some of the Muslim men missing after the fall of Srebrenica. In The Hague, the man who ordered these exhumations, the International War Crimes Tribunal's deputy chief prosecutor. For Graham Blewett, the work which has now started will produce the evidence which he hopes will build the case against Karadzic, Mladić and others.
We expect to find that some victims will have their hands bound behind their back. If that sort of thing is established, it disproves what claims are being made, namely that the victims in these graves were the victims of military action. So we can prove that they were executed rather than being some casualty of some military action.
The Hague has set aside 3 months for its investigations on 12 sites in the Srebrenica area. These hills are thought to hide as many as 7,000 bodies, some of them lying in the fields where they were killed, many in mass graves. But the chances of more than a small proportion of them ever being identified and reburied are slim. In Tuzla, less than 50 miles from Srebrenica, the women who were forced to leave the town without knowing what happened to the men. They've been waiting almost exactly a year for news. They work here to earn a living and keep their minds occupied. Rumours flash round this community that a relative has been seen in a Serb prison camp, for example. Many women hope against the weight of evidence that a son or husband is still alive. Only an identified corpse will bring the terrible doubt to an end.
These people are fragile, these people went through difficult times, these people are since 1 year in expectation. And I really do want that we have to approach them with care and with respect.
We have a lot of body bags. Now, I don't know how many body bags we have.
I've got a crate of body bags over there as well.
But even with the care that forensic scientists will bring to the task, there will be huge disappointment.
Even if the grave is totally exhumed, even if the bodies are fully examined, more families than not will still not have the answer to the main question that they're wanting to answer, is their loved one dead or are they alive?
With quantities of equipment and a team of specialists who work together in Rwanda, The Hague has belatedly decided to exhume all the bodies from the Srebrenica sites. But they'll identify and determine the cause of death of just enough to confirm the details of cases being prosecuted in The Hague. And even if they wanted to identify more, they couldn't.
If you're dealing with graves of large numbers of individuals drawn from various areas that have been separated from families, separated from identifying information like documents and personal items, then the question becomes much greater, and then you're dealing in terms of DNA and the kinds of identification that require actually sort of knowing who you're trying to identify. It's a catch-22.
So the expectations of women like Mula Sulemanovic may not be fulfilled. She's lost all hope of finding her husband Kadria and her son Sadiq alive. But for some peace of mind, she wants their remains restored to her, and she wants to know what happened when they all left Potocari.
Pa ja to I želim da čujem sigurno šta mu se je dogodilo, ali najviše želim da mi bude živ. Ako se budu otkopavale grobnice, željela bi da idem u tu šumu da vidim gdje mi je svako nesto, pa nek ni ja ne dođem.
Her sister Mushka is waiting for news of her son and husband, and both have lost 3 brothers. The one relative they have left is Mushka's son, Ahmet, who's 9. The exhumations, his mother believes, will end a year of doubt about the elder son she half hoped might be alive.
Jer, dobro, volim opet da znam gdje je, da ga sahranim, na primjer, da znadem gdje je, da sutra dođem da kažem je ovdje moje dijete. Ali gorko. Gorko mi je. A mislim da će nešto zvar, će nešto ostvariti. Nisu valjda došli džaba da onako budu da zijeva i pošum.
We are conscious that there is that expectation, and unfortunately expectations in many ways with the tribunal are just too high. And we have to look at the realities involved. Our staffing and available resources are very, very small, and frankly we just don't have the capacity to do such an extensive work.
Fahrudin Salijevic is one of the few men who escaped Srebrenica. As mayor in exile in Tuzla, he is one of the local authorities who will have to deal with the mass of unidentified corpses which will arrive there in the coming weeks.
Ja lično se bojim trenutka eshumacije, odnosno početka eshumacije ovih kolektivnih grobnica, jer je to novi trenutak, odnosno nova tragedija srebreničkih majki, braće, sestara i roditelja.
Muslim men led by their clerics at a ceremony which combines religion and solidarity. It's a defiant affirmation that though the Bosnian Serbs may have killed thousands of their countrymen, many tens of thousands more are keeping the faith. For many Muslims, the final resting place of their Srebrenica brothers is a political issue. The temporary graves are, for many families, the one remaining link with the area from which they were expelled.
For us, there is no dilemma. They must be buried where they are born, which means in Srebrenica.
But if that continues to be in Serb-controlled territory, their relatives can't visit them?
No, this is not under control of Serbs. This is under control of the international community. The whole Bosnia now is under the control of the international community, and we are part of this world.
Bosnia's leaders want international backing for this at least, given the betrayal they feel at the hands of international forces in the events which led to the fall of Srebrenica. They're counting on The Hague to deliver justice and avenge the dead. The Hague sees a broader purpose, laying the ghosts of Srebrenica.
It's really the foundation stone of the tribunal's work. When you have regard to what's happened in the Balkans, there have been just endless cycles of violence because atrocities have happened in the past and nothing has been done about it. No one was held accountable.
But in Tuzla, the waiting continues, and it's doubtful the process now started will bring Mula and Mushka and her son the known remains of their family. Jane Bennett-Powell, Channel 4 News, Bosnia.